Hey friends and soon to be friends. Nothing can stop me from making purses. I realize I have made a lot on my channel at this point, but I keep being advertised them and there's just something about making a purse that intrigues me. So today's video is about Dunelace or Dunelace. It's a French company, so I really don't know how to pronounce it. It's probably like du based on how the French don't pronounce a lot of their letters in their words. But it intrigued me because it was more about being a sewing kit. Everything already comes pre-cut, pre-measured, pre-everything. All you have to do is sew it together. So I was very intrigued about that, especially since in my last purse making video, I had talked about how I know absolutely nothing about sewing and I do want to get better at it. So this little kit says there is no need for a machine, you're just hand sewing, so I was like, perfect. And they say it's beginners friendly, like even on the picture of the bag that I am making, it has like one spool of thread to say like it's super easy. It says that it takes 2 to 3 hours, but in their like frequently asked questions page, they said anywhere between 1.5 to 5 hours. I'm just gonna go ahead and let you guys know because I already completed the purse. It took me much longer than 5 hours, but looking at their website, they had, I guess what you could say is an about us blurb where they said, since 2022, Dunelace has been helping you create your own bag without any hassle thanks to complete kits already ready to assemble, accompanied by a step-by-step tutorial to guide you from start to finish. Now, does that actually tell you who they are, where they are, what they do? No. But that's all I could find. I don't know if maybe on the French version of their website they had a little bit more, but at least on the English side, this is what we got. So I was very curious about the quality and if it was as easy as they said it was. So grab those snacks, grab those drinks as we deep dive into making yet again another purse together. So true to what they said, it did come all together in this nice fabric holder. So then once you're done making the purse, you have something to store it in. Every piece was already pre-cut, already had the spool of thread, which actually feels like dental floss. So I didn't realize it was a waxy thread because you're supposed to burn this when you are done with your threading through, like to make sure it's secure. I don't remember reading that on the website, but it is in their tutorial video to let you know you will also need a lighter for this. The scissors that they give you with this kit is so incredibly dull. I don't know what they can cut, but I tried using the scissors in multiple different ways. They're trash. You're gonna have to bring your own scissors. So based on my last project, I already had fabric cutting scissors, worked great. That's what I used for the rest of this project. I tried to use their scissors. I would have ended up hurting myself over actually cutting any sort of thread. So it being a sewing kit, I did learn a new stitch with this. Now you would think, right? Ivy, they said that it comes with a video tutorial, so surely they teach you how this new stitch works or like how to set it up, all that jazz. No, this stitch, yes, they taught me, right, taking the thread and piercing through and everything, but the actual like stitching it, like how it's supposed to work, they did not slow down, they did not zoom in, they did not take the time to actually like teach you. It was basically like, hey, put the threads on the needles like this and just start, just go, just do it. And the video was very interesting because I watched the whole tutorial video before starting the project. It was only about 11 minutes long, and they will fast forward through all the important parts and then just basically be like, and now we're going to start on this piece. And so it was rather confusing, right? So to start this piece, I had to actually go find a tutorial on how this stitch works. So I found this very sweet YouTuber. Her channel is called Simple Shoemaking, and she taught me how to make a 2-needle running stitch. Very simple. Had it up close, took the time to show like how it works, gave a little tips and pointers on like how to make it so your string doesn't get all tangled with each other and you accidentally hit the wrong one, right? All the things you would think that you would get from a tutorial if it's the first time that you're ever sewing. Dunelace. Super sweet lady, teaches you a lot of different stitches. I would check her out. Absolutely love her. She has an Etsy page, but I'm keeping my eye out on it. And once she starts posting some shoes that she made on there, I'm gonna review them because I am so grateful to this lady. I really had no clue. Like even trying to stop the video and pause, the tutorial was just off to the races. I don't know who it was racing, but it was trying to get done with that purse faster than lightning. So once I figured out how the stitching actually worked, I came back to the tutorial. And we're going along making that handle, everything's going great, until when you're attaching the handle into the bag, your stitches aren't on the same side, as in this already comes pre-drilled with holes. So to continue the stitch, there was no hole for one side of the stitch to go through to like make it look continuous. And I was like, oh, well, not a problem. I'll just watch the tutorial. Surely they stop and go over that part, right?
Once the first end is fixed, we continue on the second straight as before until we reach the second end.
Wrong, they sped right through. So if you do get this bag and you're watching this, I honestly just had to cut my strands right there, tie them up, and then just start again outside of that section so both could be on the same side of the material. I couldn't figure out another workaround. It's just, it is what it is. So then we get to the part where we're putting on the little like buckle parts of the purse, and you would think like maybe they would slow down to really show you like, hey, it's supposed to go this way. They don't. So it did like, I guess my overall thing is just going to be, you're going to have to take your own time, pause the video, zoom in, and really work it through. For me, because I'm a newbie with all the sewing and like crafting, putting things together, I am such a visual learner. I need that slowing down to just know. There's not going to be any of that with these video tutorials. They are just know what you're doing, basically, is what they're saying. But nevertheless, I got my straps on correctly. And at this point, I just started to learn their MO, where they're not going to like zoom in to show you what actual holes you need to be threading the needles through. It's just more of like, here's a piece, put them together, boom, I'll see you at the next part. So when I was putting these longer straps together, yes, like pausing video, zooming in real close, counting which circle they actually went into, like that is what helped me the most. So just tips and tricks of, I had to watch this video in like the slow-mo speed for me to actually understand it. It was so crazy. I've never had to watch a video in slow-mo before for me to actually learn from a tutorial. But once I got it, wasn't too bad. We're getting all the pieces together, right? Now, everything you see here took me 2 hours to do. Now, that includes unpackaging everything, watching a different YouTuber's video, or at least trying to find a tutorial on how the stitches work, because again, some people didn't actually zoom in or slow it down or give you tips and tricks on what to do. Then it was trying to watch their tutorial video to figure out what the heck is going on, and then actually implementing it. And then plus along the way, like strings would get in the way. If the string got way too long, I had a difficult time not getting it all caught up and attaching to anything else. But how they measured like how much string you need, they literally would just take the little spoolie and be like, the length of the piece, we're gonna do 5 of them about. And sometimes that would be enough, and other times it would not be enough for me. So my measuring that way was not accurate, so then I would have to like cut some more, redo it, all that jazz. So yeah, it took me a little over 2 hours. We're just gonna round down to 2 hours. Then I gave this piece over to my love for him to just singe off the little pieces, and he did such a good job. I honestly feel like this purse came together so well because he was able to singe it really well. If I had done it, I either would have just burnt the bag to a crisp or probably just left really long tassels on because I didn't want to deal with it. But once we got to the little pieces, then actually constructing the bag itself wasn't too bad. I will say going around the corner pieces was like the hardest part for me because it's so flimsy and floppy, and just know it's not easy, and Godspeed to you if you've never sewn before in your life, because the tutorial ain't there to help you, that's for sure. And it's still so laughable to me to like watch this and expect to be like shown like how to do this and like tips for like how to make it easier, and it's just like, and now we're gonna sew this piece with this piece, and then it fast forward by like 5 times speed, and then it's done. You're like, okay, and now we're done with it. It's like, oh okay, well. But we do have a purse. After all that complaining and everything, I know, like, I don't mean to be as mean about it as I am, but like to me, when I was starting this project, because it was for a new person who's never done sewing and it's a sewing kit, I genuinely thought that I either was going to be taught multiple different stitches, like they're going to teach you like, hey, you can use this stitch for this is how you do this, or at least slow it down to like really show the why or how to do it, not here's pieces, put them together. So that's my fault not realizing what it was going to be like. I just thought it was a really good opportunity to be like, here's a sewing kit, let's teach you how to sew. But let me grab the bag. Dun, 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 dun. Look at that. I made a bag. Now, you could have bought this bag in faux leather or real leather. I obviously bought it in faux leather because of how janky everything's falling. So it doesn't look as crisp as I feel like it could, but I'm actually rather happy with this. I couldn't believe how much space is in this thing. Now, I haven't gone out and about and tried this, but I didn't even realize there was like this second opening in here that you can like slide things into, so I thought that was pretty cool. I also don't know, is it weird that it doesn't have a liner? I feel like my purses get dirty rather quickly, so I don't know how I feel about that, but I didn't notice that until after I started making it. I was like, oh, there's no liner in this thing. I don't even know how I would go about attaching one if I wanted to add a liner, but that's for a different day. But honestly, looking at it, you guys can't even see like where I messed up, because mostly the places where I did. So like right in here I had to restart and get a new string, but you can't really tell. But there you have it, this grand purse. It actually looks really good on video versus in person, I'm gonna be honest. That's probably why I fell in love with the pictures of it. And I did get this cheaper than what they have on the website. Already I feel like it's a rather cheap kit. Like I could not believe that it was only like $47, and I think I paid like 30 something, 38? I'm not sure. I'll put it on screen for you guys. So for me, I was like, wow, that's already a really good deal for what it is. It was nice to practice that one stitch. Now again, I feel like to elevate this kit, if they had done multiple stitches or really honed in on like how to do different stitches, different knots, stuff like that, and then practice it on different parts of the bag, that would have been really fun to like learn, and then I have a purse at the end. But to be honest, I didn't get that same like, wow, I made something feeling when I made this versus like my other purses, probably because like everything was already pre-cut. I just put all the pieces together. So it didn't give me any dopamine rush, but it was relaxing. Once I got the stitching down and understood what I was doing, then I could go and sit and watch anime or sit in the sunlight, right, relaxing and just be going through my stitches. So that was really nice to get to that point. I do have a second kit that I'm going to be making. I'll probably make a short of that one because I figured this would be my practice round, and then the next one looks a little bit harder, and so we're going to test that out. But if it's the same stitching, then I'm like, oh, I'm good. It's only one stitch. But let me know, you guys, if you've heard of this brand, if you tried their purses, if you like to try making one of their purses, and what you thought of this. And if you checked out my cute, simple shoemaking lady, because she is absolutely sweet. Well, in her videos. I didn't watch too many of them, but she'd be a grandma I would adopt. With all that being said, you guys, go and enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope something good happens to you. Bye!